Welcome back to Stan's Collector's Universe, and I'm your host, Stan. Well, this is part 2 of the Buck 110 restoration. What do you think of her? She's not perfect. She's still got some divots and stuff, but I didn't want to go too much further because, you know, you're taking away the brass, and it does look good. Even the bolster I sanded really well still has some, but overall, I mean, talk about a difference in a knife. So in this episode, we're going to be cleaning up the blade and resharpening it. So what I like to do to clean up the blade, I actually seen this on a YouTube channel. The guy was a knife sharpener, and I really feel bad that I can't remember his name, but he showed off these little wheels here. This is an 800 grit. I'm going to start off just going, oops. You want to go along with the blade. What I really want to clean up is the end of the blade here where it's all scarred up before I put a new sharpening on it, you know. I'm starting with an 800 grit. Try and clean up where somebody really didn't know what the hell they were doing sharpening. Not that I can say much. I have done it to a blade myself in the past. I am definitely not Mr. Perfect. And if I said I was lying to you. But I just want to make it a little bit better looking than it is, you know. Let's get over here. See, this side's got some more burn marks and stuff there. I'm hoping I didn't lose the temper and whoever sharpened on the grinder. Hopefully they didn't burn the end, actually, you know what I mean? But yeah, this just helps clean up the blade nicely. This side's much nicer looking. These things aren't really expensive. I got mine off Temu, I hate to admit it. They're pretty cheap, but I think next time I'll order them off from Amazon or someplace else. I've heard that the better quality, like it's like anything, the better quality you pay for, the better that they last, you know. Let's get in the, oh, look at that. You can see how much it does. Before you couldn't even really tell I was doing anything until I got in a nail nip. See? I just want to try and make the blade look really nice again. You know, the handle and the body of the knife came out pretty good. Maybe I can push it out something like this. Sometimes going the wrong way will help you get into the right spots. You know what I mean? I'm destroying my paper towel. Well, it's not perfect. I don't really want to leave a satin finish on there. So that was a 80 grit. So I'm going to jump to 220 now. And when I feel like it looks good enough, I'll stop. And the only reason I got this paper towel here is it looks way better than the wood block. You know what I mean? So I'm just trying to make it look a little bit better, a little more professional. You know, like I actually maybe do care about my videos, because I do. I'm not perfect. Some of this stuff is the first time I've ever done this. In fact, these are what I use to finish up the knife on the bolsters. They actually work really well. Because I think you can tell on the blade. Look at this. This is just like cleaning up this beautifully. Gotta watch it though. It catches, man. You could really cut yourself if you're not careful. There's something right there. Don't know what. That just got a little better. yeah, I'm just kind of learning as I go, you know, and I'm trying to show y'all, don't be afraid to try stuff. If you have any a bit of mechanical abilities, you know, give it a shot. That was 220. I'm now going to jump to 400. You know, because some of this stuff is fun to try. You know, what's the worst you're going to do? If you make it look worse, send it in the butt. Especially like a buck knife, you know, because that's the only one you can send in the buck. But you know what I mean, or you know, or take it to a professional knife sharpener or something. You know, if you really booger something up, just use common sense. All these tools I'm using here are inexpensive tools. You know, I just love it when people try to expand their horizons, try to do more than they thought they could, because you know, we're all amazingly capable when we try. It just, unfortunately, if you're like me, throughout life you've had people tell you that you're not good enough or you can't do it, you know. And hopefully you're blessed and it wasn't like your parents or something. My, unfortunately, you know, it is what it is. You know, my mom was brought up crappily and she didn't know how to like really give. You know, it's not that she's a bad mother. I'm not trying to say that, but it was really, it's hard to get compliments, you know, and stuff. And, you know, maybe that's probably why I'm so harsh on myself when I do stuff. This is a 600 I'm going to, is I want perfection. And I got to realize you can't always get perfection, you know. You know, you can just get the good and make it look way better. I mean, compared to how this knife was, because I was going for a while after that video trying to get those bolsters perfect. And I just decided, you know what? It's not worth it. I'm going to just whittle down into the bolsters so much that I'm going to end up having to sand the wood handle to make it so it didn't have a lump there. And I'm like, I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it. You know, I'm going to be happy with what I got. Okay. Now I think I'm just going to use a little bit of flitz. And I'm going to call it good. And then we'll sharpen this bad boy. Compared to where I started, this thing's looking phenomenal in my opinion. Maybe you all don't think so, but I do. Hopefully you've watched video number 1 so you can see where I started. I'm using my little polisher here. It's easier for me to handle and it doesn't spin as fast. I was destroying those last buffers that I showed you. I was literally destroying them. They were just coming apart. Okay, get a little bit more on for this side. Little dot will do ya. Oops. Don't know why I keep trying to push that to start it. Probably because in my brain it makes sense that that'd be the starting button. I don't know. Okay. Leave that there for a minute while I put my stuff away so I don't get stuff all over my hands and everything, because I've already got enough. Let's wipe her down and see what this blade looks like. And then I'll put some sharpening on it. I might have to run and get a piece of paper. I forgot about that. So maybe I'll just leave this here once I turn this piece of paper over so it's not as nasty looking. Leave that there for a little piece of eye candy as I run and get a piece of paper so we can check sharpness. Okay. Just had to go in the other room to get a piece of printer paper. What do y'all think of her so far, though? I think she's came out just beautiful. I mean, compared to what she looked like. Let's check this out here. Can't cut nothing. So, take and put this stuff off to the side. Get my work sharp out here. This is the work sharp. Trying to set it up where you guys can get a good view. I got to remember, what way does this turn? This way. So I want like this so it goes over that way. Okay. Now what you do is when you set this up, try to make sure you go on a flat. Try and get as much in there as you can. I try to center the blade a little bit. Try to have it close to where you think it's centered of the blade, or where you think you can get. Actually, I think I'm going to move that a little bit more so I can do a better job at the end, since yeah, I'm thinking right there. Now, here you can set up your angles. I'm going to go for roughly a 20, 22, somewhere in that range. Now I got my bits here. Since I got to reprofile this, I got to start off with pretty heavy chunks here. I got 320, 220, 400. I think I'm going to start with 220. So I think this poor thing has seen better days. It's just a magnetic that goes up in here. Okay, now, here we go. Okay, this is so hard for me to do. I gotta get at an angle I can do it. There we go. Oops, I didn't tighten her down good enough. See what happens? She moved. There we go. Okay, let's try that. Yeah, I gotta let her come down a little bit further. You can adjust these washers here so you get more. 5, 7, 9, 10. You can definitely see where it's eating in there. Oh, I did this backwards. Crap. I wanted it another way. So I'm going to unscrew my screw up. Because what you ultimately want to do is to where you don't have to pick this up. So I should have had it in this way first. So don't do what I do. Just have to start all over. Okay, there we go. Now on this one you go. You don't need to put a ton of pressure. In fact, I'm usually guilty of putting too much pressure. Because if you put too much pressure on this model, what you actually do is you make this part bend down. You don't want that happening. 7, 8, 9, 10. Let's check our blade. Looks like we're getting pretty consistent. I see a spot right there we're going to probably have to take out. Now that's how it's supposed to work right there when you're smarter than the... Yeah. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yeah, we got a spot right there. I don't know if you can see it maybe with my nail there you can, but I doubt it. I'm trying to decide if it will cut, if it'll come out. There's another one up there, if it'll come out as we go up higher, or if I'm going to have to do like really concentrate on an area, which with the constant angle sharpener, you don't really want to do that because you'll create a flat spot or a spot that's indented compared to everything else. I will tell you this, I love these. These are almost idiot proof. And the reason why I say almost is if you didn't notice, I did set it up wrong the first time. Man, I don't know if that's going to come out or not with sharpening. I might just allow a blemish to be in there and just say the hell with it. You know what I mean? Because sometimes you don't need to worry about it that much. You know, as long as you got the majority of it sharp. And I'm not saying you don't want a good sharpening on it. You do. You know, of course you do. I can't think of anybody that'd say, oh, I want a half-ass sharpening. You know, it's like I was saying in my one other video. I That one knife I did earlier, that electrician's knife, I got to do that on here. Probably do it after I'm done with this video because I screwed up that sharpening so bad doing it by hand. And it's kind of embarrassing. But you know what? I was doing it at a weird angle. I couldn't really see what I was doing. And sometimes that's what you get. Yeah, I think I'm going to just finish up this process of sharpening. And what I mean by that is I try to keep it even with this heavier stones. You know, then I start worrying about a wire bead on there and stuff. Oops, don't do that either, what I just did. That is really bad. So let's see. All you got to do to get your next stone is turn it. That goes to 320. I know this is about like watching paint dry. Okay, I did 20 on that side. So, you know, it's, and you want to keep these strip even here because, you know, and if you can hear that it's not making as much noise, as much grinding noise. It's not making as much grinding noise each time. Each blade, it's going to get, man, that is a big divot there. Hopefully it comes out. 2, 3, 4. You know, it's just consistency back and forth, having some fun with it, enjoying it. I'm really pleased with how this knife came out. If I can do a good blade, a good edge on this blade with my constant here, I'll be a really happy man because I've really boogered up that other knife without using it. And another thing, you want to be careful when you get to the end. You don't want to roll off the end too much, kind of like when you're sharpening with a stone. You want to be careful. We're going to 400 grit now. Because if you roll off the edge, it's a pointy edge, so you really just make it like even pointier, if that makes sense. And to the fact where it could be like too thin. I think that's close to 10. Didn't count. I should have. Yeah, I can feel. So 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I'm going to do one more of 10 on each side on that one, then we'll move up to the next level. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. We're getting there. I bet she'd already cut the paper better than I did. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, we'll move up to the next level blade here. They're not blade, but cutter. What I'm trying to say, it's just not coming out of my mouth right. Stone is what I'm trying to say, dang it. Okay, let's see. What do we have on here? We got 600, 800, and then this thing. So let's go to 600 next, because that makes sense. It's the next one. sure I got her set up right for the cut. There we go. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. She's getting sharp now, everybody. I'm going to do another 10 on this side. And then with the next 2 stones, we kind of do it by feel. What I mean by feel is we'll try to determine exactly where the bead is, the wire bead from, you create when you do this, and try to just work it out, because you don't want it to break off. You want it to fall off. And some people might say I'm wrong, which, hey, maybe I am. I'm not an expert. I don't think I've ever tried to tell anybody I am an expert. That was 600. Let's go to 800. Sometimes I do this just to give a little bit difference, especially when we're down to the more fine polishing, which is once you get to like 800 and above, that's basically what you're doing, in my opinion. Some people might argue that. That's fine. Everybody's entitled to their own opinions. Do a couple good ones like I did on the other side. Then when it feels, because the stone's cutting forward or backward. Oops, don't do what I just did there where I caught the end of the blade, the tip. That was stupid. Okay, now you gotta try and feel. Yep, it's on the other side. So now I'm gonna count because I'm trying to get this down. 1, 2, 3. Okay, we got just a small wire on this side. 2. Okay, now we're getting down to the nitty gritty, folks. We're going to go to the ceramic stone here. Okay. This is literally polishing it. Got to be really careful on that tip, but you do want to get the tip so it's good and sharp too. And again, this here, I don't count strokes. I just kind of go for it and do what feels right. Okay, we got a nice little wire on this side going on. I hope y'all are enjoying this. I know I'm kind of long-winded, but I want to show you all the full process because, what I'm trying to show y'all is anybody can do this for a limited amount of money. This kit here, I think, was 100 and something, but it came with everything. Got just a small wire on this side. In fact, I'm going to do it this way. Well, let's see if we got her sharp or not, guys. I'm going to wipe the blade off. Wipe the fingers off. Let's see if we got her sharp. Let's see here. Yeah, I'd say she's sharp. Tip's a little, not too bad. See if we can do this a plunge cut. Yeah, I would say she's sharp, everybody. So now I'm going to get these off the screen, because what I want to do now is lube my pivot. And I don't know if y'all remember when I first got this, it would barely open. It was like really, really stuck. Well, I will be honest, after I cleaned it in the ultrasonic and everything, it got a lot better. You know what I mean? But in fact, I'll show you. Got a little bit of a snap already. But it can always, you can always use a little bit of you know, lubricant. Well, I shouldn't say always. If you got too much, you know, don't go nuts. Oops, sorry about that. Gosh, guys, I am so sorry. I'm a horrible host here. Make you guys bounce around. So where's my KPL? Where's my KPL? There it is. Okay, on this one, because it's a lockback, I'm going to use a little bit of a heavier, in my opinion, because it's a little bit, the slip joint here is a little bit looser. You know, the joint's a little bit looser than on slip joints, I guess is what I'm trying to say, just regular slip joint knives. Gonna do a little bit of just working the blade back and forth here. Wow. Now another place I want to get it is on the back spring. Oops, sorry, I moved it the wrong way. It's on the back spring here. Not going nuts, not putting a ton. Just a nice little bit. Okay. Oh yeah, she's getting good, guys. She's getting really good, guys. I think you can see my, oh, I thought you could see the, you can. That's the cover to the camera. I'm going to try and tuck it away again. It slipped down. I hope that didn't slip down too much earlier. There we go. Oh my gosh. Yeah, she's getting there. Oh, listen to that lockup. Look at that. Let's close her. See what type of snappability she has. I think that's pretty dang good. Pretty doggone good. What do you all think? So, question for y'all. What do you think? From where she was to where she is now. I mean, is she perfect? No. Is she a beautiful knife that I would not be ashamed to carry any day of the week? Oh, heck yeah. Yeah. You know, you can still see a little bit on the bolsters, but man, they just, she turned out, in my opinion, she turned out pretty doggone good. So let me know what you all think. Let me know if you think I'm an idiot for doing these videos. I enjoy them. It makes me feel good bringing something back to life. Used to be an automotive mechanic. Can't really do that anymore with health issues. So this is something I can do. So it makes me happy. So thanks for watching. With that being said, live long, prosper, and collect your own way.